Welcome to In the Room, where culture meets Hollywood. I am Elisa with Ali Leroy, and this is a show where we break down the business, the strategy, and what's really happening in the room where careers are built. So for this week, I Am Legend is back from the dead. It's Gabrielle Union versus Friends, and Mary J. Blige is reminding everybody you can't just have it your way with somebody's image. Megan Thee Stallion and Klay Thompson are done. Do you win the breakup if you post first? We'll talk about it. And after another assassination attempt on Donald Trump, we're wondering, why aren't we buying it? Plus, let's talk Michael and biopics, preserving history or rewriting history. So this week we're talking ownership, perception, and who really controls the narrative. Let's get into it. Fresh off the timeline, these are the dailies. So let's start with I Am Legend sequel. Will Smith and Michael B. Jordan are set to star in I Am Legend sequel. So we have Stephen Caple Jr. is attached to direct, and it's moving forward with active development and production plans. So it's happening, and the sequel is going to follow this alternate ending from the original film because he died in the original film last time I checked. And Michael B. Jordan is producing the film. So what some people are saying is at Cool Gray 2310 says the plot twist is the virus was Jada Pickett all along. Okay. At Ramv 38 says, didn't he die in the first one? And that's what I thought too. So it's like, looking at this is really no risk taking. This is just, we're going to go back to what already worked. We're just going to rewrite the ending. We're going to extend this franchise.
Nope. It's a huge risk. It's a huge risk. And what they're doing... Well, no, it is. It's a huge risk because they're shuffling the risk of Will Smith's comeback and an alternate ending leading into another universe. They're putting that all on the shoulders of Michael B. Jordan. Now, I don't think this is a bad thing, but what it gives the studio is plausible deniability, right? So they're going to take this ending, and it was one thing, they're going to turn it into something else. I'm happy about that. I think that's cool. Like, why not exploit, a story and take it in another direction? Fans love shit like that. Here's the alternate universe. That's what they do in director's cuts. They do it all the time. So we're just going to take that and we're going to follow that. I think that's great. But what you've discovered in the timeline is that some people are very pro-Will and some people are still very anti-Will. And so the studio can't manage that. But Michael B. Jordan can. So by putting him in a movie with Michael B. Jordan, who's got the most actor currency right now of any black actor in the business, it's Michael is on their side. So if it works, fantastic. The studio gets to say, we backed Michael, we brought Will back, we explored this piece of IP. That's all great. But if it fails, then they go, well, we gave Michael a shot to do a thing that he wanted to do. Will wasn't quite ready, and the story didn't really work because black people didn't show up.
Well,
so I'm just saying they're shifting the way.
I say I disagree because Will don't have to come back. Nobody was ever mad at Will, slap or not. We was never mad at Will for that. Like, nobody cared.
But it's not just you. It's a lot of people out there.
But you don't really see. I don't see negativity about Will Smith anywhere. I don't know if it's on your timeline.
I'm seeing a guy was posting it the other day. It's all on.
I don't know if it's on yours. Like I said, we got two different algorithms. I even posting back to the Chris Rock slap. I've never seen. Back then maybe, but Will Smith has already come back. Like, he's not still canceled. Like, let's be real.
It's not that he's canceled. It's that he hasn't reestablished. Is that he hasn't reestablished his viability in the box office. He did Bad Boys, which is great.
Right. But again, that to me was we're beyond establishing it.
And there's been more stuff since then. Bad Boys was a piece of IP. That was great. Him and Martin again. This ain't him and Martin in something that they are known to like already. This is a new swing, and it's with a new guy, and it's taking something that hasn't been explored. So there is risk in that.
I would say I disagree still because... One, it's an alternative ending that was already on the director's cut. So on the DVD, there is an ending that's already written where he survives, which some fans are already a fan of. So they're to me, what I'm seeing on the timeline is people are excited about this. You're adding in Michael B. Jordan, which elevates it. Will Smith, maybe that first movie that he had, Emancipation, right after the Oscars or whatever, didn't do well or whatever. But since then, Bad Boys, the things he's done, he's still getting a lot of positivity. It's not the same situation where some people deal with something controversial and then they're never to be seen again. Will Smith was bigger than the program, in my opinion. So I don't think this is a risk.
I'm looking at it from, it's like, I know that we have our personal feelings about it, but this is risk management, right? If I'm in the studio business, I have a great big piece of IP that was great for Will, it ended in a particular way. This is not about reimagining the story at all. It's about who has the currency to bring this back to the market in a way that the audience feels like it's something that they want to be engaged in. Michael B. Jordan has that currency. And so if it works, it's fantastic. If it falters, maybe he can shoulder that, and I applaud him for taking this step. But again, the case around Will Smith is not settled because, again, this is Michael B. Jordan stepping into the lead of a Will Smith property, which is great. Bad Boys 4 actually did very well, and people like that. But again, this still hasn't, it isn't complete yet. And Will's back in the news recently with, just stories that people don't want to talk about. So it's not settled. But there is risk management involved, and I think that I applaud Michael for taking this on.
Because his wife keeps bringing him up in the news, but we're going to leave that where that is,
Right.
But yeah, I honestly don't think, if I'm an executive, I'm looking at this, you put this on my table, I don't see this as like, ooh, I don't know. I see this as just, let's green light it, go ahead. It's
and
once
everything
again, it's
that's got
IP
anything to
that
do
already...
with us, they'd be like, man, I don't know. That's
but this, I don't think it's going to have as much discussion. This is IP that's already been proven. This is an easy yes. We have two big names, big black names, an Oscar winner and two Oscar winners. Like, this is not a hard yes. Okay, this is yes, let's go ahead and give him money. And maybe if they make it, Taraji will finally get that franchise she's been waiting 30 years for. Hopefully they cast her.
Put Taraji in there. She could play the hero.
Man, look, give Taraji a role in the franchise. Anything, she could do it. Okay, so Netflix is in talks to buy Radford Studio in LA. This estimated deal is roughly going to be $300 to $400 million. It was previously valued around $1.8 billion, not that long ago, but that's a historic Hollywood lot, shows to home, home to shows like Friends and things like that. But the previous owner defaulted on over $1 billion in debt, forced the sale. So Netflix, historically, they've rented production space. Like, they shoot globally. Right. A lot of times they pull in content that's already been shot elsewhere. So this move is a little different for them. It's about like ownership to me. So what the timelines are saying, Jason St. Scott says keep Radford alive. Glenn Amio is saying if Radford becomes an AI data center, I will scream. And 5150 Banger says this isn't good news for the industry. It's a land grab. So there's sort of like both sides are on. Some people are for it, some people are against it.
They're missing something. This is Tyler Perry at scale, right? Tyler Perry is a closed operation. He writes, he directs, he produces, he got a studio. Like, he could wake up in the morning, go to work, and come home with a movie, right? And so Netflix, they've been outsourcing their studio and their infrastructure. So they've been acquiring and they've been funding, I guess, in certain aspects. But when they got a lot, now suddenly they can actually build a farm. Because now creators, directors, writers, producers, not only do they have a place where they can create a thing, then it pipelines directly into a global outlet. And so that's going to give them a type of leverage that we haven't seen in a while. Because the other thing about the Netflix infrastructure is that interior is tight. That's a short chain of command. Right? When you have these mega mergers and you got Warner Brothers coming into Paramount and whatever's happening with all these people where they need to have a lot of meetings in order to get something done, I'm not saying it's this fast, but if Ted Sarandos wants some shit to happen, it's going to happen. Right? That's why Ben and Matt Damon, those are two different guys. Ben and Affleck. But Ben and Matt are The Rip, they put that on. I'm seeing all these movies that are coming into the Netflix pipeline. They're contained, they're controlled, they're spec'd out at certain types of budgets. The pipeline is fast, the chain of command is clear. That's why they're outpacing everybody, and this is going to put them even further in front of this Hollywood structure that's still, working with old ideas and old ways in old places. Yeah,
ownership is a new power. And I mean, clearly when you see this price drop, it just shows you how slower the production is, the less demand for stages happening out in LA. Yeah. So it would be interesting to see how this system affects Netflix production going forward. Let's talk Gabrielle Union. Gabrielle Union joked on The View that she was the Rosa Parks of Friends. So the comment has sparked renewed conversation about diversity on the show. As we know, Gabrielle Union.
What does that mean, the Rosa Parks of Friends? Because some people don't realize.
Some people may not know. Well, I hope y'all ain't watching us if y'all don't know who Rosa Parks is. Rosa Parks.
Well, they may not know why she's the Rosa Parks of Friends. They may not.
Okay, I'll break it down.
Right.
She was the first black woman that integrated the bus system, and so Gabrielle Union is saying she's the first black woman that integrated Friends, and she said it jokingly, right? We know that she did appear as a guest star on Friends season 7. She was a love interest. She referenced herself as being one of the first Black women with a speaking role on Friends. So she said it jokingly, but it hit because it's a long-standing critique of the show being so not filled with diversity, even though it was set in New York City, which is one of the most diverse places in America. It's been criticized for years for minimal Black representation, very few reoccurring roles for people of color, right? And NBC apparently did not like this joke. She says in a video that NBC checked every frame to refute this, but after checking up to 9 seasons, they did concur that she was the first Black love interest of the show. Now, she was not the first. She didn't say she was the first. She said one of, which she is correct. The very first one with lines was Jennifer Lewis. That was season 1. She played Monica's coworker. Gabrielle Union was the first love interest. And then you had, and that wasn't until season 7.
Tyler.
Right. And Aisha Tyler came in season 9 and 10, where she was the first reoccurring character. And we had like Kyla Pratt and Sherry Shepherd. But of the 10 season run, we only had 8 Black women with speaking roles
in New York City.
All in New York City. So it's still not looking good. But she also mentioned that when she was cast, it was presented as if Friends should be this huge deal for her, but she was more invested in shows like Living Single. At Cleo says, still can't watch Friends after watching Living Single. They owe that franchise so much. So it's a common known thing that Friends copied Living Single, same show, same premise. But, you know, Living Single followed a group of Black friends. And so it made me wonder, like, are we hypocritical? Because we don't mind when we recreate something that existed in a white world and place it in a Black world, like The Wiz, Cinderella, the Brandy, Whitney Houston version, Annie with Jamie Foxx. We don't mind that, but we mind when they do. But I think that the difference is there was no formal acknowledgement of the recreation, so it feels like appropriation. And then when we remake something like The Wiz, we're adding culture to something that largely exists, and we're not negating the fact that white people exist. White people existed in Living Single. You know what I mean? They existed in the world.
You're dealing with two different ideas here, and the way I look at them is this. So on the one hand, we got Black versions of white things, white versions of Black things. That is part of art. Right? People are inspired by things. People do versions of things. Music has shown us Tutti Frutti All Rudy, Little Richard and Pat Boone. They serve two different purposes. And it goes in the other direction too, all along the Watchtower. That's Bob Dylan, and then it becomes a song that Jimi Hendrix is best known for. So the reality that artists draw from other artists, reinterpret the work, is a part of art. Nothing's wrong with that. Everybody does it. The part that is problematic that you just named is when we don't cite the source. So I'm just going to say for the record, today we are shouting out Yvette Lee Bowser, right? Because she is not given the credit that she deserves, not just for creating In Living Single, In Living Single, In Living Color, Living Single. It's a lot of shows in my head. Living Single. She not only created Living Single, but it became a space that sprouted Friends, Girlfriends, Sex in the City, Insecure. Her model of young people dating in city environments and relationship and friendships spawned a genre of show. And so she never gets the credit for that. And the thing about it is, just give the fucking credit. That's all we need. We don't have to be in your... I don't want to be in a show where I don't belong. Black people don't want to see Black people where we don't belong. Like that one Black guy on a farm with a white girlfriend in some fucking wine tasting country movie
weird.
Or some shit.
Yeah.
And it's also... And we don't like why we got white people where they don't belong. You know, shoehorning some fucking white guy into a thing. We know where we are. We just want to be treated with truth, authenticity, and valued for what we are, who we are, and what we do.
But there's ways to, like, when I was watching Living Single, like, on repeat, and I'm just looking at just naturally, white people are in the world. I never looked at it as like, oh, that was forced. It's like, okay, that white person was the best person for that role, so he's in the world. With Friends, sometimes it feels like you had a choice to choose someone Black and you chose not to. It feels purposeful.
I wanna. So here's the thing, and this is kind of like a confirmation bias sort of thing. I think that what is problematic when we deal with white writers and white creators and they have to integrate their spaces or try to find ways to be inclusive, it's problematic for them because the only thing they know us is as props in their reality. They don't tend to be interested in our inner worlds and our inner lives. So we only serve purposes. We're utilitarian when we're in those stories. Am I a sister that can give you some advice? Am I a guy at a counter? Am I a dude that can drive a car? Our purposes are functional and not relational. And so that becomes what's problematic about bringing black people into those worlds because you can't inform them. We, on the other hand, have extensive experience with dealing with fucking white people. And so even if we don't have the inner... We may not have all of the specificity and the nuance of what they do in private spaces, but we have extensive exposure to them over decades about what it looks like in public and in broader world spaces. And we also have more interpersonal relationships with white people. So even if we are speaking from a position that is limited in some aspect, it's still more informed than what they typically bring to the table of creativity from their perspective.
Absolutely. And I think my only issue, and this is just me speaking for me, is, yeah, I do understand you not incorporating a black character into your main cast or, you know, until season 9, figuring out how that even works out or whatever. But when you say, like, the characters, the bartender, the person that's bagging the groceries, just the day-to-day characters, the fact that there was so few black in that world is what made it stand out. And there's just so many opportunities where it could have just been just a person, it's not even black, a person of color, period.
But I want to say this too, and this is something that is typically, I think, lost on a black audience. You know, there's lots of places that white people go where there ain't no black people. They do it all the time.
It's not New York. It's not New York.
No. Yes, it is. It is.
Not where they lived in New York. They weren't living. I've lived in New York for 10 years. There is no all white space in New York.
But what I'm saying to you is this. It's not that those spaces are or are not available and present in New York. They are. But the thing about the people who are writing the shows, the spaces that they inhabit, the places where they socialize, and the people who they see typically don't involve us. So they don't write to that. And somebody has to remind them, oh, you know, there's some black, oh, shit, let's get a delivery guy. Let's walk her in.
Right. And that's what Gabrielle Union was saying. She's like, hey, this is just the reality of your show. So the fact that you would still at this point be defensive of it as opposed to just being accountable, like, yeah, we could have did better. They're not going to do that. I understand.
White people in white America do not like to be held accountable for any of the shit that they have the power to do.
Back to white
otherwise.
Guilt, yeah.
Yes, and then even guilt is just like, damn, motherfucker, ain't nobody trying to hold you across the fire. Just say, damn, I should have done this. It'd have been okay.
They don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck.
All right.
Point blank.
I'm done.
So let's go on. Mary J. Blige is saying, hold the pickles, hold the lettuce, and pull the commercial. Okay, she has spoken out again about this Burger King commercial that used her voice and image, proving you can't always have it your way. Now, so she was mad at it when it came out, and it resurfaced, and this was years ago. The ad was pulled after backlash and issues around clearance. The commercial basically featured a remix style of her voice tied to a Burger King menu items. It was widely criticized at the time. Do you remember it?
Used her voice and her image. What do you mean used? That wasn't her?
That was her. That was her. This is before AI existed.
Yeah, but no, I'm saying, like, you didn't use my voice and my image.
Up,
that was you.
She sang it. She recorded
that was
it.
You.
And she accepted what it was going to be. You know, you remember the crispy chicken, fresh lettuce.
I watched it the other day.
Yes. Okay. So what happened after it was there was some criticism from the public about it being tone deaf, playing into stereotypes. And I don't think that she liked the response. And so then the ad was pulled all of a sudden. It was like, you don't have my clearance to use this. But she's claiming she never approved the final version. She did not find it was funny. She was unhappy with how she portrayed. And she said she lost friends over this commercial. So the timeline is saying Garcia Emanuel says, but you read it, rehearsed it, recorded it, and then showed up for the commercial shoot. Saxy Sauce is saying, it was a check. Most of us have done worse for less. And Brittany Marks is saying, you were singing about a chicken sandwich. How serious did you expect the commercial to be? So she's saying she lost control of her image, but she had already said yes. So, like, what happens when you say yes, you show up, and then you see the product, and you're like, I don't like how this represents my brand. You know, now all of a sudden, I don't want to be associated with it. And this
Listen,
came up in a
you know.
podcast years later, and so she's still it's still a sore subject for her.
All right. Listen, she's upset. And the only reason that we're talking about this is because she's talking about it.
Yes, you
right?
never had to bring it up.
And I'm going to say this, you know, and I wish she felt less troubled by it, right? Because, you know, it seemed like a good idea at the time. It was 60 seconds, but my girl, it was 30 years ago. And somebody just said it in a tweet. You know, it was a chicken wrap thing. You know, that didn't stop me from coming to see you. I'm seeing you in concert 3 times. I didn't watch you singing No More Drama and go, yeah, but that chicken rap though, man, I don't know. That's not what happened, right? Tom Cruise put out a fucking Elf movie, and by all accounts, it was not very good. Most people don't know that because they didn't go to see it. It was 30 years ago. It was 60 seconds. And what how y'all say, Mary, I want to hold your hand with a tissue when I say this. It's okay. It's okay. We still love you. You still auntie. You know, everybody still want to do the Mary J dance with the boots. I hope they gave you enough money that you bought something cool, and you can laugh at yourself. Yeah. That would help you.
But she can't because she's not known for comedy. It's not a laughing matter for her.
It's 2026. It can be because it's only that serious to you because you believe something about us, your audience, that is not correct. We're not holding your feet over the fire to this thing. We realize that people sometimes, you know, make judgments about things and they're off. That's all this was. Every song you have in your catalog trumps this. If you quit talking about it, I promise you we will.
I don't remember I don't remember the backlash. I do remember this at a time where everody was doing their
probably
Burger
too busy
King
eating the chicken wrap. You're like,
as
give
I
me one of
said,
them chicken wraps.
I was probably
You was
singing
10
along
at the time.
But the worst part about this is now we're in the TikTok age. So when you because nobody was thinking about this, Mary, and then when you brought it up, now people are recreating the commercial with the Mary J. Blige boots and wigs on. It's remixing it now. It's a thing.
And this is what I'm saying. Like, and now is the time to embrace the fact that, Mary, it ain't that serious. It ain't. You know, we want to crunk and funk with you and do the family affair and have no more drama. This don't have any more drama. It's not drama. You can laugh at this. Drama. The kids ain't taking it seriously. We still love you. Put out a record. We'll come watch you. I loved you in Mudbound, one of the greatest performances from you I've seen. Listen, man, you got all this good shit in the world happening. Quit fucking stressing out about 60 seconds 30 years ago. Stop.
But the thing is, when brands decide to put out these marketing campaigns, the brand moves on to the next campaign.
You don't see Hammer talking about popcorn shrimp.
No, but I mean, like, celebrities.
Did you see Hammer popcorn shrimp?
I never said that.
Popcorn. Like, shit.
Do you know how old I am? No, I did not see Hammer popcorn shrimp.
It was 5 minutes before Mary J. Blige and chicken wraps.
Oh, I don't remember that one. Well, for what? For who? KFC?
Popeyes, I think it was Popeyes popcorn shrimp. Yeah.
I don't remember that. But celebrities carry the association long. What year did this come out? Because I don't feel like now I need to do some research because like
now you got to look up MC Hammer.
No, because like what year did the Mary J. Blige Burger King commercial came out? Because you're 27. No, that was a Mudbound.
1992 was the MC Hammer popcorn.
Okay,
shrimp.
I was 6.
Popcorn chicken.
I was 6.
Is
that how it was? Okay, the Mary J. Blige
and I'm not making
commercial.
fun of MC Hammer because apparently Hammer is quite the threatening man. I worked with Hammer once.
It came out in 2012.
And I found it to be very cool. But
2012 was not that long ago.
That's when chicken wraps didn't come out in 2012.
That's when the commercial came out.
It could. That's impossible.
I mean, the chicken wraps probably came out before that, but that's when they did that campaign.
Really? That was 2012?
Yeah, I was like 24 years old. That's why I was like, oh, I was at 10. Like, what are you talking about? Okay.
So here's the thing. All right. So and here's the point. If that's true, and I think it was 30 years ago, right? It was long enough ago that I think that it was so long ago that it does not matter at all.
Doesn't matter.
Right? That was eons ago.
Wait, no, maybe it came out before then. Oh,
I feel like
maybe it was 2004.
Your internet is broke.
No, she reflects on the 2012 Burger King ad.
I don't know what's going on.
It was 2012. Okay, well, I mean, like I said, the celebrities carry the association longer. their brand is now tied to that.
Not if you stop talking about it.
Yeah, don't stop talking about it.
There's people out there with whole sex tapes out, and people don't talk about them no more. You know why? Because they quit talking about them. Because the news story moves on, and the news cycle moves, and that's not shit's just not important anymore.
People still talk about it, but it doesn't become your whole brand. Speaking
not
of
on
brands,
the news.
No, but speaking of
anyway,
brands,
go ahead. Yeah,
let's talk celebrity breakup. So celebs don't just break up anymore; they launch narratives. So Megan Thee Stallion confirmed she ended her relationship with Klay Thompson after publicly accusing him of cheating. According to reports, Megan cited broken trust, fidelity, and respect as the reason for ending it. The breakup unfolded in real time on Instagram stories, and within hours, the internet detectives were connecting the dots, naming possible third parties, and building narratives before either side gave their full statement. Several celebs shared words of encouragement, and some speculated that maybe she even deserved this or is in the wrong. At I Love Throwback says, "Damn Klay, I was rooting for you. We were all rooting for you." At Leah says, "One thing a man's going to do is embarrass you." At Charity Lane says, "At least she left with a Bentley and not a baby." And I agree. And at Namdi says, "He has $100 million. Did you expect him to be monogamous?" So she did put out, did you see the statement that she did put out on her Instagram stories? I'll just read it real quick. Cheating had me around your whole family playing house, got cold feet, in quotes, holding you down through all your horrible, in caps, mood swings, and treatment towards me during your basketball season, and now you don't know if you can be, in quotes, monogamous. Bitch, I need a real break after this one. And then she followed up with an official statement. So once the breakup was put into the public by her, it did open up the floodgates. So you got people pointing fingers at third parties. They're saying, oh, this potential WN player is the reason. You got this thing going around where people are listing his roster, allegedly saying that these are all the women he's been with over the years, and they're comparing them to her. You're seeing old lives of his posted as recent to allude to him saying things, which is false news. You're seeing ex-girlfriends allegedly leaking cheating diaries from 2019. It's a hot mess. And so I'm like, okay, these are two brands. The celebrity relationship, when you put it out there to the public, it's like a merger. And when these two brands date, one brand can damage the other. And then it's like you have all this public visibility, which to me increases the risk. She's putting out her statement first. So you have either people on her side or Megan Thee Stallion. There's been a lot of controversy around her since the Tory Lanez thing. So you also have a lot of men that are just against her. So it's like, got the internet on either side. And so it's just like, what happens to the brands of these two? Now that they have publicly broken up like this breakup is unfolding like episodic television right now. And does she control the narrative because she posted first? No,
she doesn't. She doesn't at all. And I have two things that I want to say about this really, but and I want to say this up front. This is not something that I care to be talking about. And the reason that I don't care to be talking about it is because there is such animated and malicious conversation around not just Megan and her experience in the public eye, and whatever's going on with Klay, and taking this this kind of conflict-ridden adversarial position. It's clickbait for a lot of people, and so they just traffic in trashing people's views and like I said, and I've said this to you, even coming in to do this podcast, one of the most important things to me is that I didn't want to be on here, pulling apart people's lives and glorifying and scrutinizing what's wrong with somebody else just so we could get somebody to look at us. Here's the difference between them. They live in different worlds, right? Klay is selling a skill, basketball. His personal life is separate. Right? It's not going to damage his world at all. His whole world is basketball infrastructure. Megan, on the other hand, is selling her life, her experiences, her body, her relationships, breakups, grief, right? So, when her relationships end, the ending is content.
I do think that celebrities in general should not be super public with their relationship. I think that you don't have to give us every detail. You can give us a crumb and we're going to take a mile with it. When you decide to be public, because both of them decided to be public, This is what you have to deal with. And when it ends, her deciding that, oh, I want to make a statement first so that it's my side, I think was her way of trying to get ahead of it in a way to make the perception be more on her side, because it's been negatively against her for so long. There are basketball fans out there. There are men who already have disliked Megan Thee Stallion, period, because they like Tory Lanez, and will dislike Megan Thee Stallion or be on Klay's side just because they're basketball fans. So she probably felt, I need to get ahead of this because it's going to be on his side majority, so I have to pull whoever I can. That's my theory. I don't know. I don't speak to Megan Thee Stallion. I don't know personally, but I do know that when you choose to make your relationship public in this way, these are the risks. Yeah, I would love to see her turn this into music. I would love to see an album come out of this, and that's all.
All she got to do is be quiet and get in the studio.
Well, she says she's taking a break, so
good.
Well, hopefully
I wish Megan well. I would love to see her come back and do something fantastic. You know, she can 444 the shit. She can eliminate it. She could, she could do whatever she wants. And she needs to realize that she can do whatever she wants, and she doesn't need the validation of men. And she doesn't even need the validation of her fans who have this mistaken notion of who they think she is. Like, she's an amazing artist. She's done some incredible things. She's a young woman with a bright future ahead of her.
I look forward to the Klay Thompson diss track. Moving on to Is It Just Me?
Yo.
I don't know what's going on. Because she already wrote a song about him, so I'd be very interested to see the opposite.
If she wants the conversation to end, she should not write a song about him. If she write a song about him, it's going to keep going. She'd be like Mary J. Blige, talking about this shit for the next 12 years. She'd be better off doing a popcorn chicken commercial. She should probably do that. And then that'll shift the conversation.
She has a Popeyes commercial, actually, already.
She would make another one.
She already does that. So, moving on to Is It Just
Twerking
Me?
on some popcorn chicken.
Oh, goodness gracious.
I'm eating popcorn chicken and I'm watching Megan twerk.
If you got to explain it, it doesn't work.
This is me eating popcorn chicken.
The joke does not work if you have to explain it. Okay?
It's not a joke. Listen, sometimes I just need to be stopped.
Yeah, all the time. Moving on. Is It Just Me? Where we take what everyone's been talking about and saying what is not being said out loud. So, okay. Is it just me, or when an estate is involved in a biopic, you start to wonder how much of the story we're getting? So the Michael Jackson biopic has gone out. It's been doing really well, and it has people asking questions. We went to see it. We're going to talk about it, just a little bit about it first. Michael, directed by Antoine Fuqua, produced in partnership with Michael Jackson.
Fuqua, you got to get that
Fuqua.
Antoine Fuqua.
Produced in partnership with Michael Jackson's estate and distributed by Lionsgate. You got Jafar Jackson, his nephew, that plays him, and some of the supporting cast includes Coleman Domingo, Nia Long, Miles Teller, and Laura Harrier. And the film is being made with the full cooperation of the estate. So they have access to the catalog, likeness, brand, archives, right? So you went to see it. I went to see it. I did. You left the house. He left the house.
I went out of the house, and I went to a nice theater, and and sat down to see my Michael movie.
Yes.
I had my reservations. Mm-hmm. I have to put it like this. This movie was not for me. Right? Right. It wasn't made for me.
Okay.
I'm older. I grew up with the Jacksons. I have a whole lot of ideas. And I was certain that this movie was not for me when they had a young Jackson 5 singing Never Can Say Goodbye, which at the point in the film in which they were performing this song, they had not recorded that song yet. So I was like, oh, I see what we're doing. Right? With the facts and all, that's just out the window. We're just showing a version of something. And it was less about Michael's ascension and success as a solo artist, as it was about, here's the Jackson 5, here's the Jacksons. It was really about the breakup of the Jacksons. more than it was about Michael Jackson and his stellar career, because there was too many Michael Jackson things missing. No Diana Ross, no The Wiz, just all of these things that Ben,
Yeah. Well, they had shot Diana Ross, but they had removed her from the film. So,
Right.
I mean, that could have a lot to do with, legal issues, but she was cast. It was an actress that was cast to play her. She shot stuff, and it was all cut. So there was a lot of stuff that was cut from the film, which to me, my thought process was, well, one, I was disappointed because there was no Michael Jackson impersonators in my theater. Like, every theater across, everyone got a little extra
if there had been a
show.
Michael Jackson impersonator in the theater, I might have asked for my money back.
No, I mean that like every other movie theater I'm watching, people dressed up and they came with the glove and they were singing and dancing. I was like, y'all are whack. Like, I was expecting more of that, but outside of that, I just felt like it was missing parts, and I was just like, when I found out how much had been cut, the whole third act had been cut. The choice was to not dive into the 1993 abuse allegations. This whole third act was focused on that period. It was completely gone. And that happened after the estate realized there was a past legal agreement that prevented certain depictions tied to the accusations. So they had to reshoot the whole ending. I'm not sure why the Diana Ross was pulled. There was some other people that were completely pulled from the shoot. Well, but now it ends during the bad era.
It's like, it's a couple of things. And I also want to say this. What I really liked, I did not like Jafar with the wide Michael nose. That was too weird to me, right? and I just, but when the nose came off and he started doing, a nose job, Michael Jackson, then it was like, at some points it was stunning. Like, there were moments when I was looking at him and I was in 100%. And my absolute favorite sequence in the film is when he gets in the car and he drives to do the Beat It video and he meets all the black guys and the dancers and stuff. Mm-hmm. And here's why I love that. Michael Jackson quietly always embraced his identity as a black man. But it did not necessarily appear that way in the work that he did, because he had another idea of reach that he could achieve with that, and he was correct. But when he went into that room with those guys and the idea that here come high voice Michael Jackson, Beat It and all these things, and he's dealing with Crips and Bloods and gangbangers, and that was the power of his celebrity, right? That some of the most dangerous motherfuckers in the world look, oh shit, Michael Jackson, right? Like, they're excited, they're turned into 6-year-olds again, and that he would present himself that way, and for all of the ways in which we think that he, guarded and kept people out, I think in a lot of ways he created a lot of incredibly intimate, close friendships. One of my close friends, John, who did the show, he produced with Michael Jackson. He was a friend of Michael Jackson. So just the understanding that this man had a care and a love for black people and black men and black culture. Remember the time, that's the blackest fucking video, high profile star shit, Iman, Eddie Murphy, John Singleton. Like, he wasn't fucking around. He really brought that shit in a way that we hadn't seen before. And I even would have liked to have seen a little bit more of that in this film, but I'm glad to have seen that part. That I liked that.
I would have liked more of that. To me, when you think about the Jackson's American Dream, that miniseries from ABC, that was a lot of the family and the rise. Yeah. And I felt like it was well done, and I felt like we got that. We've seen that a bunch of times. So I thought that this would be a little different. I thought that this would dive a lot more into Michael's story. And even when it comes to the allegations, I don't need you to replay the allegations, which, a lot of people believe aren't true, or, however people feel about it. It's more so seeing his dynamic during that process, what he had to go through personally dealing with that. I would have loved to see, like, I didn't know about the bad and the whole him driving to see the gangsters. I would have loved to see the little innuendos in him deciding how these songs were made. Who is Dirty Diana about? Is it really about Diana Ross? Remember the time? Is it really about Diana Ross? This little, all those little, like, playing on those little things. And I felt like we got little bits and pieces of it, but we've seen the Joe Jackson Michael thing, and it really played very heavily into that. It was like, some people were calling it a playlist. Jafar, to me, I thought did an amazing job embodying him, the dance moves and all those things. It really did make you feel, but it just felt like a little bit like we're going from song to song to song. And I was just like, I really wanted to know a little bit more about how Michael felt about things going on
Yeah.
in his life. I would have loved to see those, like, just personal moments, that those little known facts. Like, you have all the access. That's what we're supposed to hear about, the little things that we don't hear elsewhere. And I felt like it was like brushed over, and it could be because the estate is involved. It's like, well, we don't want to dive too deep into things. It's a protectiveness. Like, that's what I think happened.
Well, listen. I mean, here's what you're dealing with. And first, I want to say to Anquan Fuqua, like, fucking hats off, man, because they couldn't have made. I don't think they could have made this movie without him. And when I'm saying him, but what I mean by him is a high-profile, incredibly experienced, big-budget black director who not only has credibility with the audience, has credibility with the industry, right? Understands the level of nuance that it will take to tell a story like this. This is the same guy that made the Suge Knight documentary, right? So I'm just saying that his ability to protect, to craft, to draft story, and also to navigate the wants, the needs, and desires of incredibly high-profile people, right? And navigate that landmine and bring this story to a conclusion, only to get to the end of it and find out, oh yeah, we fucked up. You got to go back and shoot something else because we didn't close the deals that we were. What the fuck was y'all doing in that building all day long? Y'all entire wings of shit with lawyers and fucking research, and y'all got a whole movie shot, and y'all didn't clear everything. And it's really fucked up because that's happened to me before on a much smaller scale. But you remember, we had a whole thing greenlit, and then when we got to the point we were about to get, they fucking bought a show in the room, and then we found out that certain people hadn't cleared certain aspects of the property, and then we couldn't do it. So that shit's infuriating. Yeah. But the fact that he navigated that, and I don't know what kind of cool, calm, and control he brought to the table, but he's worked with some big players. Denzel is one of his recurring characters. He's got the Equalizer franchise. For what it's worth, he was on Street Level with Suge Knight, Training Day. He knows that space. And so hats off to Antoine for being able to bring this to life, follow it through. And at the end of the day, he's not known for a big budget feel-good movie. Yeah, and so what he just added to his ledger is not only can he do big budget drama, big budget action, big budget thriller, now he can do big budget musical, feel good, global, $200 million, and he's as much a producer on this as he is a director. So that's the fucking flex. That's the shit that he's the real winner here. And and I think he did an amazing job, and who knows, maybe there'll be a part 2.
Well, there is. It's been confirmed that there is going to be a part 2. So it does feel like maybe some of the things that were not able to be put in this one will go into this next part 2.
It's gonna be like what's that movie with Will Smith and Michael B. Jordan?
I Am Legend.
They're gonna change the ending.
Like Michael Jackson survives. I don't know.
Right, yeah. In this version, Michael survives, and him and Bubbles.
Yeah, so it made me think about the other Michael. We have had several versions of this story. Like we said, the favorite so far before this one was the Jacksons, An American Dream, which we know, Jermaine Jackson was heavily involved in that. It produced strong cooperation from the family with that one. I thought that it was controlled version, but it focused more on the origin story, so there wasn't a lot of controversy in that. Then you had that weird Flex Washington one. What is the Man in the Mirror?
Hey man, hats off to Flex. I am not mad at Flex.
That was not an authorized version.
All I'm saying is, if Flex is not mad about his Michael Jackson movie, then Mary J. Blige certainly should not be upset about her popcorn rap commercial.
The fact of the Flex
I'm just saying.
And that white
Mary,
face. That's
Mary,
another
go
version.
watch the Flex Michael Jackson and then come back and tell us how you feel about your chicken wrap commercial.
The one version of whiteface that didn't work was Flex Washington playing Michael Jackson.
And check this out. Here's the other part of it that I think is cool. Watch this. Fuck the critics, right? Because Rotten Tomatoes was scoring this at 30%, 33% from critics. Fans were at like 90%, 97, 98, 99%. And what that says is that we don't trust you motherfuckers not anymore. Y'all not one of us. What is RogerEbert.com? And I'm not trying to shit on RogerEbert.com. I'm just saying that that's a faceless entity, right? It used to actually be Roger Ebert. Him we could trust. RogerEbert.com is a brand. And that's not different from the nameless or faceless motherfuckers who are all over the internet, who we look at and we see and we think, oh, there's a person that's like me saying that they like this movie. So how them talking to each other, and even if they're having a genuine fight, they know that it's genuine. It's not manufactured. And so I'm not saying critics are irrelevant, but a critic score is not driving the marketplace anymore. It's these fans and this connectivity. If you touch them, now you're on to something. So,
and I mean, Michael Jackson is IP that we know is going to work. We love him, right? And so even though there's parts of the film, I didn't want the film to end when it did. I could have taken 45 more minutes of that film. I was just like, oh, is it over, right?
They have an extended moonwalk edition if you want to see that.
I mean, I don't know, but I would love to. But it makes you feel good. I left the theater feeling good. I left the theater listening to his music going there. And so I think that it's a feel-good movie regardless. So you don't leave it, you may leave it wanting more.
I'm moonwalking.
Ali, stop.
You didn't see, I moonwalked out and then...
Stop. Okay. Stop. But of all, I do want to ask you this. Of all the Michael Jackson biopics, which felt more honest?
I didn't watch any of them.
You never watched the Jackson, the American Dream one?
Well, no. Again, it's the same. One. No, listen. It's the same thing. I was 3 years younger than Michael Jackson, right? Everything that he did, I saw in real time, right? Mm-hmm. I saw him on Ed Sullivan, right? I went to see Ben, right? Or Willard, rather, right? I saw all the stuff. So everything, I saw Michael doing the robot with Cher when they was on the Cher show. I saw all of that. Right? So all of the things, I bought the Randy album when Torture or whatever, that State of Shock, I bought all that shit. Right? I got the Randy solo album. I got Centipede with Reby. Right? What's my man that did Always Feel Like Somebody Watching You? Rockwell, got that. Right? Ooh, Janet Jackson got background vocals on PYT. I heard all of it. Mm-hmm. And so I'm not saying that any of that work was good, bad, or indifferent. I'm just saying that the memory I bring to it gets in the way of the manufactured narrative that people who haven't had the same experience. So I don't hate on it. I saw this because I felt like it was important, but I also, again, it's not for me because
I get that.
My experience is different. Yeah.
And I mean, what it honestly made me think about is you have this family where you have a very, very
But famous... I might watch that Flex one. Where can you find the Flex one? I want to see that.
I don't know. I'm not advertising that.
They should put the Flex one on with old chicken commercials by rap artists who regret their decisions.
Listen, a lot of regrets there. But it did make me think about Janet, who chose not to be a part of the film. When you think about this family, you have a very, very, very famous Michael. I mean, a famous band in general, and you also have a very, very famous daughter. And so I'm just like, we don't know a lot about Janet's growing up. Like, who's taking Janet to these auditions? Who's taking her to set? Like, she was very famous as well. I know she's younger than them, but she was also very, very famous as well and had her own career. And it just kind of was like, how does she, because we never see how she fits in to the ecosystem of the Jacksons, or when her rises in comparison to this, and is Joe in charge of her as well? Is he manager? It just made me also want that Janet movie, which I don't know we'll ever get, but I would love to see that because I feel like that's what we still don't know.
You gotta go listen to
these two famous people in this.
Gotta go listen to Dream Street. Go and listen to Dream Street and catch up on some of them early Janet records.
Where she was
it didn't start with Control. There was albums before that.
Yeah, that's what I'm like. It's just like that's interesting to me. It's like I would love to hear that story. Like she's a lot more protective about her life and things like that. But
well, I mean, to your point, you said it. Look, I mean, it's the brothers. It's the brothers protecting and narrating the legacy, right? Mm-hmm. And so, in as much as they understand that the value of the Michael Jackson IP enterprise is significant, they rightfully don't want to do anything to damage it, right? And so, if some of the more unsavory or unflattering aspects of that experience are things that they want to keep out of it, what we see now is that they were right.
Yeah, because there's
People
all these
wanted this,
lawsuits
like,
are coming out now all of a sudden, and
they know what their experience is.
Yeah.
It's like earlier you were saying about Will and the timeline and all that stuff, and we are definitely seeing different things. But they're the Jacksons. So they've been going around the world and through their experience as the Jacksons for some 50 years, really having a upfront and personal understanding of what the level of fame of Michael Jackson is. There's a clip I saw a couple of days ago, and he had just won an American Music Award or Grammy, I forget which one, but he had won 7 that night. And he gets on the mic and he goes, I said that if I won 7 Grammys tonight, I would take off my sunglasses. And when I tell you this motherfucker made a production out of taking off sunglasses, like that's how famous he was. I'm going to take off my sunglasses. We have no idea, but they knew. And they protected that. It's in their right to do so. It's in their interest to do so. And if people who have unflattering ideas or visions about who or what they think Michael Jackson is, go see a Woody Allen movie and relax.
That part. All right, let's move on to the table read where we give the industry the notes it didn't ask for. We're talking all the time.
I know nobody asked for what I just said.
Nobody asked for that. Nobody asked for anything we're talking about.
You know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking about having a new. I'm thinking about creating a new social media handle, which is Ali STFU. Just where I can, just so I can post stuff. Then people tell me shut the fuck up. And I know. Ali, shut the fuck up. I'm fine.
Y'all can just tell them that in the comments if y'all like. Feel free.
You can tell me to shut. I don't mind. I don't suggest that I'm right about everything. I don't know everything. I try to get informed. You don't know how long I studied. When I tell you,
Ali,
I was on the thing.
Okay. Please. We talk all the time about narrative control in Hollywood. Okay, who shapes the story? Who owns the image? Okay.
Do not turn that into a segment.
We're going to bring that a little bit more.
It's a new segment. Ali, shut the fuck up.
Yes. So let's talk about the script of the week. Truth has a trust problem.
Ooh.
So, we're going to try to be serious.
Yeah.
We're going to try. Oh, no.
This ain't gonna take long.
No, this is not gonna take long. There was another attempt on the president.
Yep. Another failed attempt.
Another failed attempt. Yet another one's about the third. And almost instantly, the public conversation wasn't, "Oh, what happened?" It was like, "Wait, is that real?" Some people think it's political theater. Some people think it's a distraction. We got midterms approaching.
I think it's indicative of his administration. He got a bunch of idiots in his administration. He got a bunch of idiots trying to kill him.
Worse. Well, to me, this is like how many? You got a lot of people with guns getting near this guy. Like, it's either the worst Secret Service I've ever seen.
A lot of stupid people with guns. I'm not suggesting that I wish for their success. I'm just saying that the people that you attract are not good at what they do.
Or the people you hire, who knows? But apparently a suspect approached a secured event with multiple weapons. Secret Service engaged. One agent was injured. He survived. The president was evacuated safely. And they believe he was the intended target. And so this is the third major threat attempt in 2 years. So what was interesting to me is not the assassination attempt, because like whatever. It's the fact that public trust is fractured. Like, people don't even think that this, like, is real. And so I'm like, let's talk about that. So is this, like, the media? We're looking at how they change, how we process. Because even the last attempt, people were looking at it like, is this real? Is this not? And even more so this time.
Trump is a pathological liar. He's a pathological liar. There are allegations and suggestions that he is a malicious narcissist. There's another word that I'm missing here. There are people who are saying that he has frontotemporal dementia. You know, there are all these things going on. But the most important thing is he's a liar. He's a liar. He's been recorded as being a liar. And so everything that grows out of that ecosystem has a question mark around it, right? He attracts people who say one thing and then say something else. So there are inconsistencies around what the truth is, who believes what they say, what they do. And so nothing about his administration and nothing about his public-facing persona gives us faith that this is a man of his word and that anything he says is something that we we can take seriously. And even the people who want to be on his side know that. And the fact that they continue to support those ideas is indicative. They worse than the fucking Megan people who just want Klay to be a bad guy for just being a bad guy. It's like, can y'all just fucking look at the truth and accept it? Yeah. They can't, they won't, and now we are here.
When I saw videos, it's like, one, there was such a delay in getting to the president. The vice president was out of there. And then you had, like, it seemed like this long delay for you to get to the president. So you had time for pictures, you know. And then you got somebody, like, they're saying everybody get on the ground. But the camera guy is still firmly planted on Trump the whole time. The camera guy never gets on the ground. So he has a clear image. He's zooming in. I'm like, oh, so you must have had the bulletproof vest on while everybody else was at risk.
I just want to say for the record, journalists are crazy. People, photographers, camera people, these people are nuts. And and I'm saying this as one of them, right?
So you would have risked your life to get the video of Trump?
Well, it's not out of the question, and I will tell you why. Because when you're a photographer or when you are a filmmaker, a camera person, getting the image, getting the moment leaps to the front of everything. Even beyond your own safety, because you see the moment happening, and what your creative conditioning is film, shoot. And sometimes that's why journalists die, because they're like, I got to get this picture, boom, shit.
But I get that. But if the perception of the journalist, the video I'm talking about in particular, was somebody was on the stage with Trump, that he wasn't that far away from him. So I don't know if there was it looked like a cell phone image, like video to me.
And that's different. That's just an idiot.
That's why I said, I was just like, this is odd. It's not like you're at the back of the building and you're like zooming in to see the wide shot of everything. You're on the stage, but that's steps away from the target.
That's even closer to my point, because there are paid professionals who throw themselves in the line of fire because that's their passion, that's their craft. But if you put a camera phone in somebody's hand, suddenly they think that they're journalists, and they will put themselves in the line of fire to get the shot, and they'll be like, bang, oh shit.
It just didn't feel real to me. And I know, like, we have AI video now, so whenever I see a video, I'm like double checking and analyzing it to see if this is truth. We have this whole media, we know him as a known liar, and a lot of things in his administration to be not true. And then I also think that in general, in this era, violence has desensitized us. Well, and I just feel like all of those combinations makes it like we see something like this and we don't think, oh my gosh.
Well, here's the thing.
What's the truth?
It's his own fault. It's his own fault, because he's the person, and the irony, and if you want to call it karma, I don't know that this is quite karma, but it is definitely ironic that at the White House Correspondents' Dinner, right, he's vilified the press. He got on 60 Minutes, the next day, and got in Norah O'Donnell's face and started calling her names because she just asked him a fucking question. He's the fake news guy. So the best thing that can happen to the fake news guy and the boy who cried wolf of it all is that when you got some real fucking news, we don't believe you. That's what this is. He did this. He created this. Like Megan Thee Stallion, he should go sit down someplace, think about what he's done, and maybe find another path forward. But he wouldn't remember it, because chances are he has frontotemporal dementia. I read this. I don't know it for a fact. I'm not diagnosing him. I'm just saying what I saw.
Yeah.
And I believe that. Why? Because it was a dude on TikTok, and I believe him more than I believe any fucking thing else that I saw. Maybe that makes me stupid.
We see the bruises on the hands. We think he's rotting from the inside out.
That.
We don't know. But
so,
I think
that's
what
what
they wanted out of
this,
whether this was a true attempt or not, right? I think what happened with the last attempt was there was a lot of support. I don't even remember.
Support. What was the last one? There was the last one.
The ketchup on the ear. The guy that was shooting him.
So they say this the third one. What else? Who else tried to kill him?
There was Melania? A third one apparently. I thought it was only two, but they're saying
Melania tried to push him down the stairs or something. What happened? I don't remember none of this. We don't know what to believe, and that's a shame.
That is a shame, and we don't care, frankly.
You know what's funny? Like on the timelines, I literally was looking, I'm going, the timeline was competing on my timeline between Michael Jackson, Megan Thee Stallion, and Trump.
And Megan Thee Stallion was winning.
And the most important thing to people was what was happening with Megan and Klay. And again, to Megan, I'd like to say, the fact that interest in your life is so great. Let's see if we can make that into something that's really working for you, because that would be dope.
There was apparently there was a ricin poisoning attempt in 2020.
Yeah, man, yes, fucking.
That was the
All
other
right.
one.
Okay,
I
whatever.
guess. Whatever. Anyway,
That's a powder. Is rice in a powder? I think it's a powder or something.
Look, who cares? He's still with us.
Well, that's what I'm saying. He's got idiots trying to kill him, so he'll probably be fine.
Anyway, Ali's action pack.
Don't say that. That's a mean thing to say.
I'm sorry.
All right, good. That's better. We don't want you to get canceled. Is there any scenario where I could tell you to shut the fuck up? Is that any...
No, that worked. I'm gonna shut the fuck up. Okay. Yes, we don't want us to get canceled. We just finally started getting subscribers now. They're gonna give me a...
They were doing fine, and then Ali went off on some Mary J. Blige shit, and Elisa started talking about Trump, and then we didn't see him anymore.
We never saw him again. They pulled the whole channel. Okay. Ali's action pack to survive in this industry needs a strategy. What are your notes for?
Okay, I'm gonna try and keep this tight, but it's everything we talked about. We talked about Klay and Megan, Netflix, Will, Michael B. Jordan, same issue, different game. It's like, know what your ledger is, right? Know where you're doing business, right? So the whole idea of everything is content. So if that's what your life is going to be, then build out around it, right? Understand the level of interest that people have in you. Understand how it affects your personal brand versus your business brand. If you're going to integrate them, then do it consciously. Make a decision about what you will share, when you will share, how you will share it. And if you're not going to do that, shut the fuck up, keep your personal life out of those areas. And then when people come and try and dabble into it, you can go, I'm not talking about my personal life out there, right? I don't do that. So if you ask me questions, I'm not going to give you answers because that ain't none of your business and I don't want it to be. Take this record, watch this movie, get a little bit of this TV show, check out the podcast. That's what I have for you, right? So just make these distinctions as you're moving through this business. If you want to operate with famous currency, determine what that's worth and then maintain that. And if you don't want it to be currency, take it off the table and let your work be your work.
That part. So what are we watching this week?
Ooh, me first or you? You want me to? I can tell you two things.
Okay, you can dive in.
I got two things. I'm gonna do one and then I'll shut up and then and I'm gonna give you one more because I think it'll be cool. The first one, Miss Pat. I've been watching the Miss Pat show.
Okay.
Well, I hadn't watched it. Just with the where do you find things?
It's on, is it on Paramount now? No, it's still. That's
well,
BET.
it's still on BET Plus,
yeah.
and I get BET Plus through one of my other platforms. Anyway, so I clicked on Miss Pat, and it was actually pretty good, right? And what I mean is. Not that I'm surprised that it's good. I'm surprised at how it was good.
Okay.
You have to watch it, and it's 5 seasons, so I'm late. But
I heard it's
funny. She had a way of merging her stand-up act, and then it's a multicam sitcom. Shit is real raw. It's in her voice. Right? It's real aggressive. And it's actually really funny. And it's also fucking really smart. And you can kind of miss that because it's loud. And sometimes Tammy Roman got on a blue wig. But it understands itself, right? Right? It knows, the show knows what it's doing. And I don't know the guy, Jordan something. I'm sorry, I don't remember his name. I was really happy for them because, full disclosure, I worked on, when Pat was trying to develop this show, I actually developed a version of it with her, and it was great, and I loved working with her. We got really close, and I loved trying to elevate what her comedy was. And when I see what she did, I may have been headed in the right direction, but goddamn, what they got is fucking pure Pat, and I love that for her, and I think that's great. And she got a judge show out of it, so I love seeing someone like Pat win. Because her story, how she came up, a lot of difficulty. She was a teen mom. She had, she'll tell you she was, I don't know, Pat will say she was a cocaine dealer or some shit like that, right? But she makes it funny. And the great thing is, teen mom, drugs, crime all around her. She got shot twice, right? And she found a husband. She got some more kids. She found comedy. She got a family, And so I'm just saying that the power of a person's desire and intention, that's what changes your life. And so kudos to her, because that shit's really great, and I'm happy for her. So, and
Love that.
yeah.
Okay, so I'm watching Euphoria. So it's back after that pause. Euphoria season 3, HBO and Max. So it's gonna be 8 episodes. It starts 5 years in the series after it ended.
Yeah.
It's like a film noir style they're doing, and all they were in high school before, and now they're all navigating adulthood. And I mean, I was curious how they were gonna do this, because we had Agnes Cloud that passed away in 2023.
Angus Cloud.
Angus Cloud. Yeah, Fezco. He passed away in 2023. And then you also have Barbie Ferreira, who plays Kat, who decided not to return.
Oh, yeah.
So those are
she didn't come back.
No.
Yeah.
But also, she lost so much weight that I don't know how they would have, explained. Yeah, she looks
like
a different person.
It's easy. It took 5 years.
Well, true. That's what I said. It could have been a really cool storyline, but I don't know if she decided I think she decided herself not to come back. So I didn't know how they were going to handle it going, but I do feel like they handled the evolution of each character well. Now that they're in this broader world, I think it allows for more openness to where the story can go. We have Rue, who we knew, was dealing with drugs. I do like it. I mean, I'm on episode 2. I still have to watch episode 3. I'm gonna watch that today. But now she's a drug mule. Okay, so we're both in the same. So
I saw where she got up to where she got to the black guy, and he's protecting
now she's
her
about to start working for the strip club.
And for me, I watched it, and again, I'm when I file things under "this is not for me," that is so that I don't have to say something is good or not good, because somebody might think this is brilliant, but it didn't land for me, because when I was watching the original, even those first 2 seasons. The high school as a circumstance, that was a pressure cooker, because they had to be there, right? And so you were forced into navigating these relationships in this reality because you were young and you couldn't get away from them. But now that they're adults and they're making their own choices, this world that he's constructing, and I'm not saying he doesn't have the right, the capabilities, or the artistic, capacity to inform this world. For me, I wasn't interested in those characters in that circumstance. And now it is pushing tone in a way that it's trying to be wild in exterior ways, as opposed to exposing and kind of getting into the interior aspect of these people and why they do what they do and what they create. Now it's all outside threats, and Rue is, maybe she's sober, maybe she's not. I don't know.
She's not.
It's less... It has less gravity to me.
It's a different show. I mean, it does shift. The style is different. The world is different. The characters are the same. What I thought was interesting was where the characters are is exactly where I expected them to be, even though it's not something I would have thought of myself. It all made sense where the characters landed. Okay. Like, she's a drug mule, makes sense. Like the girl is trying to be on OnlyFans. Sarah Sweeney makes sense.
Did you think that was a little creepy? Because I saw a lot of that. I saw a lot of people saying that they thought, but just in general, I saw a lot of conversations saying that there was a feeling that the way that sexuality was being pushed was exploitative in some regards, and that they were less than positive takes on the creators.
Yeah, but I also feel like that's been the vibe of Euphoria, where they pushed sexuality, and it was even more creepy back then because they're portraying teenagers. Now they're adults, so it's like, okay, the sexuality they've been doing this, and it's also to you as the actor, your choice to decide if you want to go along with that or not.
And if it doesn't work out in 30 years, you can just get mad at it and say it was everybody else's fault.
I mean, you could be like Mary and get mad at it. But the jury is still out. I'm enjoying watching it so far. I don't hate it, but I think this feels like a final season. So we'll
love that as a review. Elisa Murray says, "I don't hate it."
I don't hate it.
Ali says, "It's not for me."
Are you going to keep watching it though? You've done 2 episodes.
Maybe, because it's asking me to buy into a world that I've seen explored to me in ways that are more interesting in other films. There's a show called Sugar with a guy, Colin, one of them Collins, that I really liked. He's like a private detective in L.A. And it does. It has sort of a noirish, approach to the story and dangerous, quirky, weird character. So I liked Sugar a lot. I enjoyed that show. This taps into that. And this also taps into aspects of like Breaking Bad, which, is stellar in the way that it was executed. So it feels a little rudderless to me right now. Like, I don't think that it doesn't feel like this was the next step in a plan that he already had. This felt like, oh shit, it's taken 5 years to get this done. Yeah, what do we do now?
Like I said, you have people that were key parts of your story that aren't there anymore. So it could be that. And, I don't know exactly why it took so long, but it felt like it took forever for this to come
Let me know if Nika King pops up, Rue's mom.
I know, I love her, and that's why I was like, is she not gonna be a part of it? Storm, is she not gonna be a part of it? I don't know.
Yeah, Storm and Nika, like that's what I want to see, because that's another thing too. It's
she's
like
not
even when
speaking
we're
to her
talking
parents at the moment, or
I mean,
it ended with her calling them, so we'll see if maybe that. She comes
I'd like to see Nika and Storm back. That would be kind of cool.
Yeah, that would be great.
Shout out to Nika King.
Yes, love her work. What else are you watching? You said you're watching something else.
Oh, Apex. It's on Netflix.
I watched that last night.
Apex is crazy.
We finally watched something. Yes.
All right, what's your take on Apex?
Okay, I mean, I enjoyed it. I really,
okay.
Okay. So it gave me what I wanted to get. We was in the mood for a thriller. We were like, let's put on a popcorn movie. It gave me that. I thought it was an interesting concept of you hunting her. I thought that the killer, to me, was a great, he was a great character actor. He played his part well. There wasn't parts of it that I like.
Wait, stop the pressure though. Hold on. See, this is what I'm talking about. That was Charlize Theron and Taron Egerton. Yeah. Taron Egerton. He's Rocket Man. He's fucking played Elton John and that's Rocket Man. And this is what I'm saying. We was talking about this last week with the Kirk Acevedo. It's like, this is a Netflix movie. And it's got Charlize Theron in it, that old Mad Max, the Old Guard, like big fucking movies. It's got, what's his name? Taron Egerton in there. He was Rocket Man. He was in Kingsman, right? The spy joint. Like, these are big fucking movie stars. And they're in these, compact, budgeted thrillers for Netflix, and again, they're bringing this big star power to streaming, and the movie worked fine for me. I was not mad at it at all. That shit was crazy.
Did you guess that it was people? I guessed very early on that I was like, the minute he pulled that jerky out, I was like, people. He's eating people.
Oh, really?
Did you guess that?
I did not guess that.
No, I knew it right. Because I was just like, what? This is giving.
What kind of life you living where somebody brings out some beef jerky, the first thing you think is that's people?
There was a lot of nice little foreshadowing things, and for a second I thought that, maybe he knew her guy that she, let fall off
when
the
he
mountain.
popped up in the thing and he was being friendly, it's like, all right, I know there's a problem with him, but I don't know what the problem is. But when that motherfucker was singing and he was giving her a chance to run, I was like, that shit, that was like the funnest, craziest part of that movie. But here's the other thing that I liked, and I don't want to spoil it for people, but at the beginning of the movie, when she was trying to do that thing she was trying to do and she couldn't get it, I was like, that's the end of the movie. That's all I knew. Yeah. I'm like, if she can't do this now, the end of the movie, it's the same as wax on, wax off with the Karate Kid. When he couldn't do that kick, I'm like, that's how he's going to win the game.
Yeah, we don't want to we don't want to spoiler alert, because I probably spoiled a little bit of it already. But lots of foreshadowing. Even when she goes into the Ranger and we're seeing all the missing people, I'm like, okay, this is a spoiler alert. It's a lot of little plays on things.
But the reveal, I actually thought the reveal was pretty cool. I was like, cool. Shit, this is crazy. But that fucking Charlize Theron, she's like blonde Angelina Jolie. She got, I
actually just watched another movie with her. Oh my gosh, what the heck is that?
I just said Angelina Jolie.
Angelina Jolie.
I said Angelino. That's what I said.
She has a new movie that just came out on Netflix. Other than, and it's a franchise. Old Guard. Okay, so I just watched
Legend
that
3.
Too. No,
yes,
so
the second Old Guard was not as well received as the first Old Guard.
Okay, I saw the first one, so I haven't seen the second one yet. But I was like,
that was
this
Gina.
is another interesting. Oh, really?
Yeah, it's Gina Bythewood.
I liked the first one, so I'm going to check out the second one to see.
I love doing shout outs, and I know we're close to wrapping up, but this is exciting. But Gina, I like to shout out Gina. Gina's just fucking amazing and low key quiet. As much shine as Ryan Coogler gets, and now Antoine Fuqua was having an amazing moment. Gina been low key, like her whole career is doubles, triples, and maybe a home run here, right? Like she low key been fucking crushing it. There's not a bad Gina Prince movie.
She's great.
There's not a fucking bad Gina Prince, and I should say Gina Prince, by the way, shout out to Reggie Rock. There's not a bad movie that she's made, and she doesn't get her shine for that. So I don't know. We're here to elevate and shout out the people that deserve it, and
shout
also say that people who suck like Trump should stop doing what they're doing, and
That
other people
part.
should relax.
Yeah, so let's get out of here. So like and subscribe at In the Room Podcast and join the conversation. Follow us on social media at In the Room _podcast on TikTok and Instagram. We're also available on Apple Music and Spotify. Send any questions to askintheRoomPod@gmail.com. And as always, we'll see you in the room. Until next time.